Welcome back to Reread, where I am rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order, something I told everyone not to do. Alright, today we're going to talk about Joe Schreiber's novel, Red Harvest. This is about basically Lord Scabious, I think Scabrous is his name. And just like every Sith before and after him, he is trying to unlock the key to immortality. And using Sith alchemy, he thinks he may have it. There's a million dead flowers in his laboratory. It kind of opens up where the Sith are at the Sith Academy, because you got to learn to be a Sith, and you got to go to teenage Sith high school to do that. And after losing a duel to a fellow Sith member, someone he does not like, he wakes up in a cage, and the professor, or Lord Scabious, is injecting something into him. It looks like his back's been messed up, and now something's been pumped into him. He doesn't feel right, and he's terrified. And of course, this is what would become the zombie virus, of course. Now, what Lord Scabrous, that sounds so weird to say, but anyway, what he is missing is a orchid, a special force-sensitive orchid. And as he sends many bounty hunters in search for it, only one brings it back. Now, this book had more horror than just your average zombie. The first person to bring it back brought back a fake. Now, the guy didn't know it was a fake. He was just stupid, and he said, "Oh, I thought this was it." And so Lord Scabious punishes him by making him eat the severed head of his, I guess it was his teammate, his partner. He was going to betray his partner anyway after he got paid. But and it's kind of horrible, because he sits him down at the table and unlifts the dinner tray, and there's the severed head of his partner with like a fruit in his mouth, like a stuck pig. He's like, "Okay, I'll make you a deal. You're incompetent, or you're trying to fool me, but I think you're more incompetent. I'll let you go if you eat it all. Like, eat your partner's head," which is really disgusting. And that's why you bring Joe Schreiber in, because he is about horror, right? And this is what the whole purpose of the book was supposed to be, a horror book. I read this on the week of Halloween. It was perfect, and it does have a lot of scary points in the book, because when people are turning into zombies, it is very descriptive, and how the zombie disease is more like a essence of the dark side itself, because it starts talking to you and telling you, "No, I'm going to help you. I just want to consume everything and leave you for last. You'll be very powerful, but you have to let me control you." And some Sith fight it, some Sith embrace it, it just depends. Some Sith see things differently. There's a tree Sith species that he just wants to start fires after he's bit, and he's kind of deranged now too. Whereas the Sith Master, when he gets bit, the Darth Scabious, Lord Scabious, I guess, takes the first test child or teenager, jumps on him and bites a hunk of flesh from his cheekbone, and it says it's kind of wobbling off, and it's kind of bleeding there, so he kind of washes it, sanitizes it, gets a blood transfusion, and he thinks he has a way to stave off the virus, which he does for a little bit. I mean, it's really cool, because the virus, it makes you have this wicked smile, and your eyes go crazy, and you want to eat people. I mean, that's kind of weird. But he has the smile, but he can still talk, and he's kind of still in control of his functions as the book goes on. Now, later on, of course, he's total beast mode, really, like zombie beast mode. But before that, he is, at first, you see him talking, he's normal, then he's talking to another Sith Master, and then just kind of wakes up like from a daydream and realizes that he just bit him. He went, "When'd that happen? That's weird." And then the next time you see him, the Jedi who's trapped on the planet, because the orchid needs a Jedi to go with it, and the Jedi who's trapped on the Sith planet sees him. Scabious has got this big grin, but he's still able to talk. He's still able to think for himself. But yet his eyes keep rolling backwards, and he keeps getting guttural noises and everything, so he's slowly being taken over. And supposedly he got this from another Sith text that was underneath the library on the walls about how to achieve immortality. Now all he has to do is eat a Jedi's heart. Now, is that what the script says? We're not sure, because at this point he could be crazy. But anyways, those having to escape him, a bunch of teenage Sith zombies. And by the way, they're a bunch of teenager Siths. They're all bullies. They all don't trust each other. They all hate each other. I don't know if we're supposed to feel sorry for them. And but anyway, they're all dying because they're either turning fast or turning slow or just getting eaten apart, torn apart by the zombies. The zombies are more like a hive mind too, we find out. They'll all scream at once. They can all do things together as a group and work kind of like a hive mind. And when anyone's turning, you can hear the voice. They can hear the voice in their head, and that it wants to have full control. There's another bounty hunter that's trapped on the planet. He's the one that actually brought the correct orchid to the Sith. And his name is like Tulk. He's a whippet. And there's another scary scene before we get to zombies, is that when she's on this garden planet, basically taking care of these special plants, one of them being the orchid, she looks out into the darkness and she feels a presence. She's like, hello, is someone there? Just like your classic horror there. And then suddenly out of the darkness rushes this whippet and boxes, punches her, incapacitates her partner, and takes her in the orchid with him. And if you don't know, whippets are pretty scary looking, and it also was another little tense moment. So this has more than just zombie moments to have you scared. There's, of course, the Tauntaun moment where zombie Tauntauns are attacking. And inside the zombie Tauntaun was a Sith teenager who kind of like ate through the belly, and now is coming out after they kill the Tauntaun. Out pops the zombie Sith from the belly. I guess kind of a joke from Empire Strikes Back, because Luke was in the Tauntaun's stomach. Either way, it was pretty cool. There is another Jedi trying to save Zoe, the Jedi that's there. I think it's her brother, Trace. Of course, he does not end up making it. Zoe does. The whippet does, but yet he gets bit, and so he eventually turns, but he knows that. He kind of bolts himself to the ship and has the Jedi ejected. But of course, before she can do that, all heck breaks loose. There's a stowaway, a zombie Sith stowaway on the ship. Like Alien, That was, and it was someone that we were introduced to at the very beginning. We saw him for two-page chapter as he was turning, and then we haven't seen him since. Is he supposed to be this big reveal that he's been on the ship the whole time? I didn't really get that. But anyway, at the end, after he turns, there's also an HK droid. That one's pretty funny. He has a restraining bolt on him. He's very polite and nice. And as Tulk, the bounty hunter, is being surrounded by, Sith zombies, he says, you're an HK, you do something. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he rips off the restraining bolt from the droid, and the droid finally just goes, he goes full beast mode, pulls out all the weapons and starts, blazing through all the Sith zombies, which I thought was really funny. I mean, he's got blowtorch and missiles and everything just throwing at him. And that was really good. That HK didn't really have, he played the butler role for a little bit, saying sir and everything, which was slightly entertaining. But when his restraining bolt's off, he just goes nuts and starts killing everything in sight, which is a lot of fun. Of course, there's some gruesome deaths, some gruesome how they blow heads up or spear them or chop them up with a lightsaber. There's all that stuff that you imagine in gore, and that's what the purpose of this is. It wasn't just gore for the pleasure of gore. They told the author, Joe Schreiber, say, hey, write another horror book, and that's what he did, set in the Old Republic time. Now, when I first read this book, I remember saying that I didn't like it. I had it on my least favorite books in the EU. I don't know if I'm going to keep it there or not. I still don't like the Sith Academy. Like, what, did Mommy and Daddy Sith drop their little kids off at the school and say, now you be a good Sith? Betray everyone, including your teachers, and try to make it alive for the holiday. See you on Life Day. That, to me, is still stupid, that whole concept. And they would say it. Teenage Sith. Really? Teenage Sith students? I just don't get it. It's like teenage high, Sith high, hey! And everyone mistrusts everyone. One of the roommates comes in and sees his roommate dead, or he thinks he's dead. He's like, oh, someone must have gotten revenge on him. What, it's like death is an everyday thing here? Maybe you should check somewhere else out and don't go to the Sith Academy. Of course, they're not dead. They're a zombie, and they pop up and attack him. But either way, I'm thinking, yeah, and it's constantly full of betrayal and murder. It just doesn't make any sense. I understand there's a Jedi Academy, so the Sith must have a high school too. That's still a stupid concept in my mind. If he would have done it differently, put it in a different setting, this is not that bad a book for what it is. As a horror book, it works well as a horror book. Unfortunately, the teenage Sith, don't care for them. I don't care for any of them. They aren't in it as much as I thought they were the first time I reviewed the book. And But besides all that, it's fine for what it is. It's fine for what it is. It's still not my favorite. Will it still be my least favorite after this? I don't know. It may move down. I just know that that's if you take away the Sith High School, if you take that all away, it's a good horror book. I'll say that. But just the teenage Sith stuff wasn't my cup of tea. Anyway, folks, that's it for now. See you next time.